The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
First of all, this started in May, and I'm glad that we're finishing out the way that we're finishing out. I've said this many times before. We're a Division II school. It's not mandatory to stay over the summer. All these guys, well, you weren't here with us yet, but we had about 8 or 9 guys or girls decided to stay with us and not go home for the summer. They worked with our strength and conditioning coach, and Thomas texted me in about July, and he said we're winning the championship this year with the way they're working. And so that's my first statement, is they're getting exactly what they deserve because of the work they put in. And so in terms of the game, I got to go back to the crowd. I've never been in an environment like that to where I couldn't hear myself talk to the team at times. And then to the game, great game. You know, North Georgia played extremely well, number 5 especially. She's a freshman. I don't know how many threes she hit. 8. Before today, I think she was 2 of 10 in the 2 games she had played in here in the first 2 games, and then she goes 8 of 11. So hats off to her. I mean, you know, those last threes down the stretch, we had a 10-point lead. Didn't think we were going to give it up. Knew we were going to have to make some free throws at that point in time. But, you know, we've had to grind all these games out in tournament play, and that wasn't what we had to do during the regular season. And to see them step up and to finish games out by making free throws and making good plays makes me very happy as a coach.
You were up 10 with about 3.5 minutes to go. They cut it to 2. What do you think of your team's composure there in the final 90 seconds to be able to make foul shots?
I knew we could. I mean, we've been doing it these last several games, been able to make the plays, keeping their head up. You know, a lot of teams that give up that 10-point lead and it's down to 2, they may wilt under the pressure. I knew we weren't going to. You know, I know she made some free throws, but I've been going to Harris. Even in the SAC tournament, she's able to get the ball because she can get open on her own and then step up there and make big free throws, and that's what she did. And she saves us there at the end. I probably put her in a little bit of a predicament. North Georgia did a good job, came and trapped her. I thought there was a foul to begin with, but she saved the ball there and picked up the foul so she'd get to the free throw line.
Kayla, for you, program record, 21 rebounds. You don't really score, but you impact the game in a big way on the glass. What about your energy tonight kind of helped your team to win tonight?
I just always, like, my mindset coming into the game is just to go after rebounds and hustle. And if my shot isn't falling, I know I always can do that.
Harris, that last sequence, they might have fouled you first of all, but knocks out of your hands. What were you thinking about in that sequence and as you stood to the line?
I mean, my job doesn't really change because from the get-go, my job is to take care of the ball. And I think, you know, once I bobbled it a little and maybe there was a foul, but, you know, I was just trying to save it, you know, and then finish the play by knocking down the free throws.
You get the last rebound. What was the emotion like as you grab down that rebound and the fans start to erupt?
Well, really, I didn't want to get teed up because I was about to slam the ball. But no, it's awesome. The crowd was, I mean, that was a game changer, and I don't think, you know, North Georgia wasn't ready to play in that environment tonight. But, I mean, I think they did a great job.
Mika, for you, 26 points, 11 of 21, 5 assists again after you had a career-high 11. What was it about tonight that you were kind of able to work your way into the flow in this game?
I just kept hearing Thomas, our strength coach, he says slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And so coming out, I knew the environment was going to be crazy, and I knew I had to stay poised. And that was like our big word that we focused on was poise.
Question?
Coach, you talked about having to grind these games out. What did you learn about your team today? I mean, this one was literally this close the entire time.
Well, we go back to the, you know, you never want to lose games, and we've only lost 2 all year, but we go back to that Wingate game. In the fourth quarter, we're up 12, and we wilted under the pressure. And so we got to come back and kind of look deep in our souls about how we lost that basketball game. You know, we got up at LMU, and we got down there in that game as well. Now, that one, we almost came back and got it done. Those 2 losses probably did more for us than anything down the stretch here. It's just, you know, we talked about don't get down on yourself. These guys are perfectionists, man. They put so much time in the gym. They get down on themselves a lot if they're not playing up to their expectations, but they've been done so much better here of late when teams make a run at us because we got a big bullseye on our back. You know, we're a very good basketball team. We won a lot of games. And for them to take everybody's best shot, I couldn't be more happy and proud of them.
Mika, you guys pulled ahead about 10 points, I think about 3 minutes to go. There may be, and I was sitting there thinking, well, okay, they've got this, but North Georgia didn't think so. How did you guys keep them from getting back in the game?
Well, in the timeout, whenever they cut it to 2, I just remember like grabbing everybody's hands and looking down, just like we were all holding hands, and that unity is like that peace that just came amongst us is just unreal, and that just shows the kind of effort our team was willing to put out there to win this game.
Mika, you've been playing basketball a long time. Is this the biggest stage you've played on the court?
By far. It's crazy.
How do you prepare yourself for a game like this?
I've been listening to podcasts, honestly. They laugh because they know I'm like super serious about this stuff. But yeah, I've just been trying to like I said earlier, stay poised in moments like this and just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. That's it, really.
What
That's all you
podcasts?
can do. Work on your game.
It's
Check
all
it out.
mental stuff, baby.
All mental.
Kayla, this time last year, if I recall right, you were thinking maybe of just stop playing basketball altogether. How do you feel about your decision to come and play at Carson?
I'm so happy. Oh gosh, I'm gonna start crying.
Aww.
I'm really blessed to be honest.
Oh, look at him.
We're blessed to have you, Kate.
These Tennessee kids, look at them, man, I tell you.
The way you built this team, Mike, all these East Tennessee kids, is it to show what kind of brand of basketball is in this area?
Absolutely, man. I knew the day I got the job that I was in a gold mine of girls basketball and, trying to get them here. And I told them a long time ago that, and Coach Carter used to do it the same way, that if we could go from Johnson City, Chattanooga, to Nashville and get some of the best kids that we had to offer, that I think we could play on a national stage. And these guys are showing that we're certainly capable of doing that. It's Division II basketball, but find me a better environment than that right there. You find me a better environment. I don't care what division it is. These kids can play. Division II is a very strong league. Our SAC's a very strong league. Our region's very strong. And I'm glad that they're here playing for me because they certainly make my job easier. And this has been certainly a year to remember for us.
So is that kind of your blueprint when you took over in 2011 to recruit?
We didn't have to go very far. I don't spend a lot of gas money to go get them. We got to travel to Raleigh and then Lexington and Nashville and all that we have to travel away to watch them play, but they're in our backyard, man, and there's no reason why we can't get some of the better kids and win with them here. And what are we, 32-2 now, something like that? So, we're proving that we can play people around the region because they did it when they were in like AAU and stuff like that. They're going out and beating these teams. So, I was always, every one of these guys were recruited out of high school. They didn't come to me to begin with. I guess I didn't do a good job selling the pitch, but they eventually came, and now that they're all here together, not just these three, but there's a lot more. You're seeing the success that we can have at Carson-Newman when you have those type of players.
Coach, surviving and advancing is great, but y'all made history tonight. Just your thoughts on becoming the first basketball team at Carson-Newman to make it to the Elite Eight?
I was anxious all day. I was trying to be calm about it, but for me, it's been 7 years of work. For these guys, it's been I wanted to come up with an amount of days that we've been trying to get to this point, and we've talked about it like, let's have a good enough year to where we can make the NCAA tournament. Okay, let's have a good enough year where we can host. And now that they've got a taste of it, you get to play 3 games in your home gym. You get to play 3 games in your home gym in front of your home crowd to be a regional champ and advance to the Elite Eight and play on a national stage. This was a national stage, but now we're going away from home in South Dakota to play on a national stage. And I'm so happy that they got to do it. The fans were great and they were there. I just didn't want to give up that opportunity, so I'm so glad that they pulled it out at the end and we could have the celebration that we had on our home floor.
Anything else?
Harris, you guys had a slow start last game. Maybe you could even go back a couple of games. Today that didn't happen. You guys were on as soon as first tip-off. What was different today?
Well, I think the last couple of games, we knew if we won, we were advancing. So it was more of like trying to save our legs a little bit. And I think tonight, you have nothing to lose. So, from the get-go, we're getting the ball down as fast as we can. We're getting back in transition because they run as well. So I think really our mindset was to play loose and not so stiff.